Humanity Restore.
Hi, everyone. This is Pam Cook from Canton's Morning News. Just want to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, everything to everyone. I hope you have a special year and hope it's wonderful for all of you. I appreciate you listening every single day. Thank you.
Hi, this is Gary Rivers, and of course, I wish you and all of your family a very Merry Christmas this holiday season.
Merry Christmas from the week that was. I'm Joe Palmisano.
Live from the WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight on Stark County with Pam Cook and Gary Rivers.
Oh, it is Wednesday morning, and of course, every single Wednesday at this time, Spotlight on Stark County. Not only can you hear us on air, but on Facebook Live as well. So if you are friends with us on Facebook, please like the page if you're not, and you can check it out there. And the entire show will be live on Facebook this morning. And we have some old friends in the studio this morning. So glad to have these guys back, especially this time of year. The Toys Time Forgot. Dan Hare, the owner, Jamie Meeker, the manager. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're so happy to have you back on. Boy, I know that we always say you guys are busy all year long. Does it get any busier during Christmas time?
Yeah.
For you?
Yeah, people like to find those long lost toys and gifts that they remember from the childhood when they opened it up Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it tends to get pretty busy at Christmas.
I would imagine some people like to maybe replicate for their kids something that they had as a child.
That happens, yeah. This is the time of year that we see that most often, is where people come in because they want to buy something. A lot of times it's mostly grandparents buying something for grandchildren that they know they had bought for their kids. So they remember their kids playing with it. Now they want their grandchildren to play with it.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, before we go any further, let's tell everyone where you're located at.
All right, we're in historic downtown Canal Fulton. It's 137 East Cherry Street, and right smack down in the middle of downtown Canal Fulton.
Very easy to find, yes. I know, for sure. All right, so let's start out. You guys have so many different things in your store. Talk about what's the most popular. What do people come in looking for most often?
Well, yesterday it was Fisher-Price.
Oh, wow. The farmhouse?
Well, everyone has the farmhouse. I think they gave them away in hospitals whenever a child was born because
everybody has them. Yes,
everyone remembers it too. But no, yesterday we had someone, and again, it was a grandmother buying a present for a grandchild. The Fisher-Price Airport. People remember that with the big jumbo jet.
I remember the plane. Yes, the jumbo jet. Yes,
we were shipping that out to Arizona, where and someone else came in and bought the Sesame Street play set. Another person came in and bought the little phone that when you pulled, the eyes went up and down, you could dial it, and then one of those little TV radio things where you turn the dial and it would play music and the screen would scroll by.
The screen would go by, yes, of different things that were supposedly on TV. Oh, my gosh, I loved that too. Yeah, I see you. When you guys speak, I know it elicits so many memories for so many people. I'm going to ask you, I know what your thing is, Mr. Batman over here. But let's talk a little bit about, how you got started in this business and why this was important to you.
Well, it started as what I was going to do when I retired. It was kind of like a retirement plan. And one day I got laid off, and I turned to my wife. I always planned on doing it years later, but I decided to start it early, and I gave it a shot, and 26 years later, we're here. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm very blessed.
Yeah, and you, Jamie, what kind of drew you to this whole?
Well, my story is a little more circuitous. I have 4 college degrees, none of which are related to toys or collecting toys or anything like that. But I worked in different fields for a number of years, and but wanted to do something different. So this is where I landed.
And your favorite, what is your favorite toy? Like I said, I know Dan he's a Batman guy.
I don't know if I have a single favorite toy, but I do like space toys from the 60s.
Okay.
That are related to the space program and the Gemini rockets and the Apollo space program, because there were a lot of interesting toys made at that time during the space race.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think, something that people don't really think about either, is the fact that the toys kind of reflect history too, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, very much so. Yes.
Yeah.
So there's, for the space race, it's always interesting. We just sold one on last Saturday. It was one of those big plastic pinball machines where it's not battery operated, it's all mechanical and it comes down. But it was all space. The back of it was themed after the Apollo missions, and you had you had Gemini rocket on there, or Gemini capsule coming down. You had Apollo rocket shooting up the side and stuff.
So when you walk into the store, what do people see when they first walk in?
After they gasp about 5 times and they start shaking, no, people right away, they say it's like almost like a brain overload. Their mind starts racing back to where that Christmas morning when they opened up that present, or that lunchbox they carried to school every day. And it's amazing what just seeing one thing and the memories start flowing. And it's fun to watch their faces when they come in.
Yeah, and listen to them as well.
Yeah.
Especially if they come in pairs. If it's 2 people coming in, then constantly all you hear for the first 10 feet of the store is, "Oh, look at this! Oh, look at this! I remember this." It's just constant.
And I think for me, I probably would say, I forgot that. Because many times we are sitting here discussing different toys, and you'll bring something up, and I'll say, I remember it now, but I probably wouldn't even have thought about it unless you said it. Yes,
the name.
Yes, the Toys Time. Forgot. Exactly. That's the name of the store. Now, the other thing I think is so awesome is that you guys have a website now where people can actually do some shopping.
Yes, Jamie's worked really hard at this. Our website now is up, and you can go on there and you can shop. We're working lots of hours trying to get as many toys on there as fast as possible, but it takes a lot of time. And when you work with a lot of one-of-a-kinds or only 1 or 2 of the item, we'll get it up there, and sometimes it sells, and then you got to just take it right back off.
Yes.
But Jamie can tell you more about it.
Yeah, it's called thetoystimeforgot.com, so it's really easy to remember.
Mm-hmm.
But as Dan was just saying, it's not like we're selling screws or hammers, where everyone's the same, so all you have to do is put up a picture of a hammer. Since every toy is unique and different, going from, the type of toy it is to the condition it's in, everything has to be kind of like put up by hand. Mm-hmm. All the pictures of every item have to be taken individually. You just can't take a stock photo and put it up. So it does take time to get things up. So we always encourage people just to send us an email through the website if you're looking for something and you just don't see it up there yet.
Okay, so. Very good idea. But I do like the way that you have it organized. I mean, you have 60s and 70s, but then you have action figures. I mean, if you scroll through this, action figures and banks, battery-operated toys, bobbleheads, and nodders. What is a nodder? I don't even know what that is.
It's the same thing. People just call it different terms.
Okay, kind of a vintage thing. And then cars and trucks like Tonka and Hot Wheels and Matchbox and Dinky toys.
Yeah. British manufacturer of die-cast cars called Dinky Toys.
No kidding.
They were well known for their military die-casts.
Okay. Wow, and a lot of people would be interested in that. Cartoon and animation. You have cast iron, comic books, Disney, dolls, games, lunchboxes, military and adventure toys, music and rock and roll, non-sports cards, premiums and advertising, and that's like the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile is the picture that you have there, so I'm sure there's a lot of things.
I just put up the Ronald McDonald doll from 1976 and the Burger King doll from 1980 on that category yesterday.
Okay, this puppet, this Ricochet rabbit puppet, like this is one of those things that I had forgotten about until I just looked at this. I know I had that. That's a pretty... When was that from? What was that era was that from? Like
60s, yes.
Okay, that's when I was little, yeah.
It's funny what you said earlier. A lot of people, when they come in, kind of like an icebreaker, they'll come in and they'll look around and say, "Oh my gosh, I had that. I used to have that." And I'll just walk and say, "Well, don't look too close. Your name might be on it."
Your mother sold it right out from under you, yeah.
But that backfired one year. Somebody came in one time and I said that to him, and he ended up finding a lunchbox. We actually had his lunchbox. It was amazing.
I bet that he felt like that was a miracle.
He was like screaming, and I ran over to him, and he said, "That was mine." I'm like, "Oh, I was only joking." And he goes, "No, you don't realize." And he pulled out his license, and opened up the top of the lid of the lunchbox, and there his name was scribed at the top of the lunchbox. And we were like just standing there staring at it. And here he lived in Pennsylvania. His mom sold it at a yard sale, 25 years ago or more. And he was driving by on 21 and saw our sign and just happened to come down, walk in our store. And there on the shelf is his original lunchbox that he had when he was a kid.
That's an amazing. That
I told him to go play
miracle.
the lottery right now.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's definitely a miracle. But anyway, this is honestly a great website, and you have it organized very well. People can just kind of scroll through and take a look at all the different categories and things like that, and have a chance to purchase them online if they want to. Okay, we're going to take our first break, and then we'll come back with Dan Hare and Jamie Meeker. The Toys Time Forgot. We'll tell you more about what they have in the store. They have a sale, I believe, they want to discuss, and much, much more. So stay tuned. Spotlight on Stark County. You're sitting at home going through Facebook and you see a friend of yours with a giant tree that has the most perfect ornaments all over it. And so you need to go to the store and buy more.
There's something about the holidays that just causes those emotions to be triggered for the holidays. Turn presents into being present with people. Stop complaining about what's going wrong and start declaring what you're going to do differently and what's going to go right.
Recapture your childhood memories at the Toys Time Forgot, celebrating more than 25 years of bringing vintage toys to collectors. The Toys Time Forgot invites you to find the treasure you once loved. Vintage board games, wind-ups, battery ops, Tonka trucks, Star Wars, Transformers, vintage video games, lunchboxes, comic books. The Toys Time Forgot offers 9 decades of toys and collectibles, and their store-wide holiday sale is in full swing. Save 20% off nearly every gift and collectible in the store for the rest of the year. Visit the Toys Time Forgot in historic Canal Fulton on Cherry Street and get your toys back.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
It takes a lot of courage to face your own death, but I'm glad I finally did. See, I was putting off getting life insurance to protect my family, even though I knew it was important. Then my neighbor's husband died. I watched her struggle emotionally and financially. It really made me face reality. If my husband died, how would I pay the mortgage, the car payments, or keep up the life the kids and I had? I realized I needed to get us life insurance right away. So I called AIG Direct. In less than 5 minutes, I had a quote. I was shocked at how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. I feel so much better knowing my family has protection.
Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-500-6038. That's 1-800-500-6038. 1-800-500-6038.
If you haven't attended a Voices of Canton concert, you must attend one of the performances of Downton Abbey Christmas, Sunday, December 17th at 3 p.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church in Canton. The Voce Chorus and the Chamber Orchestra will perform both new and familiar British holiday tunes. An audience sing-along and soloists from Voce Scholarship recipients will lead up to Handel's beloved Hallelujah Chorus. So don't miss this heartwarming Christmas event. 'Tis the season for Voce.
Now back to Spotlight with Pam and Gary.
It's just Pam this morning. Gary has the day off today, and the Toys Time Forgot. That is our Spotlight on Stark County. Believe in the magic, because the stories that I've been hearing are incredible. I have in studio with me owner Dan Hare and also manager Jamie Meeker, and we've been talking about, toys mean a lot to people, because not only, obviously, everybody celebrated with toys and they were good parts of your childhood and things like that, but it brings back memories. And you were talking about the guy who was just driving by and stopped in, and his lunchbox just happened to be in there, which is an unbelievable story. But you have a Facebook page, so just if you type in on Facebook, the Toys Time Forgot, it comes right up. You'll find it, like the page, and then you can go there, and they have posted a ton of pictures. But you've got to tell me this picture of this doll. Tell me the story of this, because it's a sad picture.
Well, it was a doll that was brought out in the 1960s. And I think it was kind of modeled after remember the old prints of Love Is with the little kids that had the big eyes?
Yes, the big eyes,
and
yes.
so since she has the real big eyes, but she has a tear coming down her cheek, and she has a burlap sack for a dress, and her hands out like she's begging, and it was called Little Miss No Name. And, you know, the first time I got introduced to her, a lady came in and asked for it because her doll was, it was her favorite doll, and it got burned up in a fire.
Oh, my.
And she came back and was wondering if I could ever find it. And I looked, and it took me a couple months, but I found one, and I all original clothes and everything, still had the tear coming down her cheek. And when I called her, she came in, she just bursted out crying.
Yeah.
It was the greatest. I mean, I don't think, she kept giving me hugs. It was like, that was her thing that she remembered from her childhood. And you just can't beat a childhood memory for a present or getting something back like that.
What a fun thing to do for Christmas. What a fun thing to do. I mean, Gary still talks about Rock'em Sock'em robots.
Which he lost, if you remember.
Yes, I do. And I'm not surprised.
But he did love those Rock'em Sock'ems.
Yes, and that's the other thing. And so yesterday he was talking about you guys and on his show, and he was talking with his producer, Stephen Potter, about this helicopter. And it's called
Vertibird.
Vertibird. That's it.
Vertibird.
And
yes.
it was a helicopter that explain what this toy was like.
It was battery operated. So you had a helicopter, you had like a little base where all the batteries were packed in, and then you had a long boom arm that went out from the base and a helicopter at the end of it. And you had controls on the base, so you could increase the helicopter speed so it would go faster, and you can control its elevation. So you could hover, and then you could drop it down, and you had to pick up things. And you could rescue something at the sea and bring it back and drop it on the ship, or you could, so it's they made different versions of it. It's a very popular toy. Like I said earlier, it lasts about 5 minutes in the store if we get one in.
If you get one in, yeah. See, Stephen was talking about that yesterday and how much that was his favorite toy. So that's the kind of stuff. And I would imagine, how have you guys gained your knowledge? Just over the years through, finding things and that kind of stuff? Because people can come in and say to you, hey, I want, do you have the Vertibird, and where can I get it?
It's just, years of experience of just dealing with all of it. And, we will get requests of something that we're not certain of, or we're not, we haven't heard before, and we'll find out what it is and educate ourselves on, okay, so that's what that is. So next time someone comes in, we'll know.
Yeah, because my mom always, and I think I mentioned this to you when you guys were on before, my mom always talked about the Sonja Henie doll. Was something from what, the 30s maybe?
It must have been, yeah.
Yes.
She was an ice skater, right?
Yes, she was.
Yeah, and so my mom always talked about that was, a toy that she was. But my childhood was Baby Tender Love, which was a doll that I loved, and then the Velvet dolls where you turned the knob in their backs and their hair. Chrissy and Velvet,
yes.
And their hair grew, and
we just got one in.
Yeah, we did.
You know what I did to mine? I cut the hair. Why did I do that?
They always cut the hair.
So it wasn't goofy by cutting the hair. I wasn't alone in that, I guess.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Well, so at Christmas time, if people want to come in, obviously, what are your hours? Tell everyone again where you're located so they know where to go and what your hours are.
Right downtown Canal Fulton. If you're in Canal Fulton, you can't miss us because it's such a small downtown. So it's at 137 East Cherry Street. We are open from Tuesday to Saturday, 11 to 8, and on Sunday 12 to 5.
Okay, very good. Closed on Mondays.
Yes,
right.
Only day of the week.
Okay.
And we're pretty central. We're right on 93, if you're familiar with Route 93, and really close to Route 21, and we're pretty accessible to almost anywhere.
Yeah, if you think of a gift that maybe your son or daughter had when they were a child, they're an adult now, and you just kind of want to surprise them with something, that would be the perfect thing to do.
Lots of
stories. Lunchboxes are a big thing like that, where people see the lunchbox they had when they were in school, and they want the lunchbox back.
I feel horrible that I don't remember. I remember a Flintstones lunchbox, I think, that I had in the 60s.
There was a Hanna-Barbera lunchbox.
Hanna-Barbera, that would be right. Yep.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think I can even remember what my lunchbox was like back in the day. So talk about the sale that you guys have going on. You were saying that when you came in. Did you mention that?
Yes. So right now we have, it started the week of Thanksgiving, and we have 20% off pretty much entirely everything in the store, and 30% off all the comic books, back issue comic books. And right now,
buy two get one free on.
And Funko Pops. I don't know if you're familiar with those. It's really a hot thing right now. But we have buy two get one free. So
Okay. All right. Very good. And Jamie, you were saying also that you guys have an Instagram account, which I'll have to look at on my phone for sure.
Yes, it's Toys Time Forgot with the number 4 instead of the word 4.
Okay.
And it's all one word, so it's TYDOYSTIME number 4 GOT.
All right, and follow them on Instagram because you can get some great pictures. But I will say that if you should also like their Facebook page because they've got a ton of pictures on the Facebook page as well and information about their hours and all that kind of stuff. So you want to check them out there. The Toys Time Forgot on Facebook. All right, we're coming up on news time here at the bottom of the hour, and we'll get some information from Jim Michaels on what the snow holds for us. But then we'll talk toys again after the bottom of the hour news. It's all right here on Spotlight on Stark County.
I'm Chip Davis of Mannheim Steamroller. St. Nicholas, or Santa Claus, wasn't very well known until the Christmas of 1822. In New York City, Professor Clement Clark Moore wrote a simple little Christmas poem for his children. You know it as "'Twas the Night Before Christmas, when all through the house." Then Thomas Nast, an artist for Harper's Weekly, used Professor Moore's vivid description of St. Nicholas and drew the Santa we all know today, complete with his bright red suit and round belly, coming down the chimney and a sack full of toys. Santa took almost 4,000 years to evolve, but he's here to stay now. And speaking of Santa, only 11 days to go. I'm Chip Davis of Mannheim Steamroller.
Presented by Simply Safe, comprehensive, professionally monitored home security with no long-term contracts at simplysafe.com.
It's a musical tradition. Chip Davis, the founder and musical director of Mannheim Steamroller, presents Mannheim Steamroller's An American Christmas.
Starting Christmas Eve afternoon and Christmas Day on 1480 WHBC.
Crown keeps you warm and we keep you cool.
We're here for you day or night.
Winter has arrived in Northeast Ohio. Sound the alarm. Batten down the hatches. Women and children first. Okay, look, I'm kidding. Winter in Northeast Ohio can be a wonderful time. Work on all those indoor projects you've been putting off since springtime. Or maybe just relax with a good book. But that only works if your furnace is ready for winter weather. Because your furnace can never relax. So do yourself a favor and call Crown Heating and Cooling today. Save yourself the inconvenience and the cost of a furnace catastrophe with a preventive maintenance checkup from Crown, who are experts at keeping the inside of your home comfy, cozy, and warm. Do you have an older, less efficient heating system? Maybe it's time for a new furnace. Crown is here to help and are proud to feature Carrier, the premier heating and cooling brand. Estimates are always free at Crown. Call today and let Crown show you how much you can save when you turn to the Carrier experts at Crown. Call 330-400-2226. That's 330-400-2226. Or on the web at crowngroupohio.com. Ohio license number 27133.
Call Crown Heating and Cooling.
Message and data rates may apply.
Hi, I'm Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. After I left baseball, I just couldn't stay in shape like I used to. Turns out, once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone, and that can make it harder to get into shape. So I got back into the game with Nugenics. I'm feeling stronger with a lot more energy and drive. You want to get back into shape? Get Nugenics. All you have to do is send one simple text.
Frank's right. Just text LIKE to 42424 to get a complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Its unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help a man feel stronger, leaner, more energetic, and more passionate.
And guys, she'll like the difference too.
Nugenic samples are not available in stores. To get your complimentary bottle, text LIKE to 42424. That's LIKE to 42424.
This Friday night in Canton, don't miss Cleveland Cavaliers night presented by the Salvation Army when the Canton Charge take on the Windy City Bulls. The first 2,500 fans receive an exclusive throwback Cavs t-shirt. Plus, see Cavs legends, the Cavalier Girls, the Scream Team, and more. For tickets starting at $8, go to CantonCharge.com or the Civic Center. This Friday night, be a part of Cavs night in Canton and get charged up.
This is WHBC AM Canton. News Talk 1480 WHBC.
I'm Jim Michaels with 1480 WHBC News. Now 18 degrees, and bundle up if you're headed out this morning.
Want to pack on the layers as you head out. Temperatures in the teens. We still have some wind out there, so we're talking about real field temperatures in the single digits this morning.
But this may be the best part of the weather day. There's a winter weather advisory up for Stark, Summit, Wayne, and Portage counties this afternoon until 10 a.m. tomorrow. AccuWeather's Bill Dager says we'll get 3 to perhaps 6 inches of snow beginning by 3 this afternoon and continuing until about midnight. A football play inside a Canton City School District building, district leadership indicating they will have none of that. The repository obtaining a video that shows a portion of a confrontation between a 48-year-old teacher and a student, the student essentially being tackled and slammed to the floor after not cooperating with the teacher. Superintendent Adrian Allison says the teacher will receive the most severe discipline possible, calling the behavior disturbing. That teacher currently on paid leave. Democrat Doug Jones is the winner in that Alabama Senate election yesterday, but Roy Moore isn't conceding just yet.
Roy Moore's last words to his supporters after last night's narrow loss to Doug Jones.
Let's go home and sleep on it. We'll take it on tomorrow.
That likely means strategizing for a challenge of the results, even though Doug Jones' victory is beyond Alabama's threshold to call for a recount. Jones saying Alabama took the right road in this election. But Roy Moore does want a recount, and if that should happen, he will likely have to foot the bill for it himself.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. And singer Nina Simone and rocker Bon Jovi leading the 2018 class of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. The Cars, Dire Straits, the Moody Blues, and Sister Rosetta Tharpe, also part of the 2018 class to be inducted on April 14th in Cleveland. More 1480 WHBC News at 10.
Here's your AccuWeather.com forecast. Couple flurries this morning, but a clipper system's going to bring in snow this afternoon and evening, where we're going to accumulate 3 to 6 inches, leading to snow-packed and slippery roadways. Brisk and quite cold otherwise, a high of 25. Still a snow shower tonight, a low of 22. And then snow showers continue into tomorrow and Friday. It's going to stay cloudy and chilly with temperatures in the upper 20s. I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
We have some fun family traditions. When we go to Pittsburgh for Christmas Eve to my sister's house, we would all pile into their van and drive around looking at Christmas decorations and lights, and it would always be fun until the teenagers, they decided to go out a little early and then came home and said, well, come on, we'll all go together. So we did. They knew where we were going to go. They took us past these houses where they rearranged Christmas decorations in lawns ahead of time, if you know what I mean. And as mothers, my sister and I were appalled. But I still laugh about it to this day. Because we said, look at those reindeer. And my sister said, you two did that, didn't you? Yes, we did.
Hey, everyone. This is Pam Cook from Canton's Morning News. Just want to say happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Everything to everyone. I hope you have a special year. I appreciate you listening every single day. Thank you.
'Tis the season to wrap up some holiday savings on a new or used vehicle. Just in the nick of time, Friends and Family Credit Union will put you on Santa's nice list with outstanding rates and terms up to 84 months. Stop and visit with Tim, Chris, Howard, or Becky. They'll secure the vehicle you want at the rate you can afford. And you can refinance your bah humbug high-interest loan from another financial institution. Friends and Family Credit Union has 3 full-service locations to serve you online at friendsandfamilycu.com, in the palm of your hand with mobile banking, or like us on Facebook. Additional restrictions may apply. All rates and promotions are subject to change without notice. This institution is not federally insured. They are privately insured by ASI up to $250,000 per account. You're just in the nick of time to wrap up some holiday savings on a new or used vehicle loan at Friends and Family Credit Union. This holiday season, it's time to bring a friend into the family.
Live from the WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight on Stark County with Pam Cook and Gary Rivers.
Spotlight on Stark County on News Talk 1480 WHBC. Good morning, everyone. Pam Cook with you. Gary has the day off today. And we have been talking toys. This has been so fun because it brings back so many memories. It's just a really enjoyable thing to talk about, but an even more enjoyable thing to go and see. The Toys Time Forgot in Canal Fulton. In studio with me right now, we have owner Dan Hare and manager Jamie Meeker. We've been talking about different kinds of toys and all of the fun things that have been happening surrounding toys. People coming into your store and finding toys and discovering maybe their very own toys that had been sold a long, long time ago, which is kind of a crazy story. You guys always have some great stories. But first of all, you can watch us on Facebook Live right now if you want to, because we're there, and you can always find this on our podcast at WHBC.com. But you guys have a Facebook page, you have Instagram, and you have your website where people can actually purchase items on the website. But, Jamie, talk about the newsletter, because when you go to the website, it does prompt you to sign up for the newsletter, and that's a great option.
Yeah, the newsletter goes out about once a month, and it will contain any information about any events we have coming up or any sales that we have coming up. But it also, the bulk of the newsletter is also just picking one kind of toy or one kind of toy line and talking about the history of that toy, whether it's TV-related toys or 1980s action figures or board games, and just lots of photos showing different examples of them and talk about, the genesis of this or that board game or how that toy line came into being or anything quirky that may have happened to it along the way.
That's neat. So you can learn something, too, from it then.
Yes.
That's awesome.
He does a great job with the newsletter. It's very informative.
And it's very simple. All you do is go to thetoystimeforgot.com. Get to the website. You can actually even purchase things, as we mentioned. They have a shopping cart there now. It's really well organized. Although when you get in there, you better hurry if you want something, because as you were saying,
one only. Yeah.
Yep, one only, and a lot of times they get it up there and bam, it's gone in very quick fashion. One of the things we were mentioning off the air, and again, this is what happens to people when they sit down and, do you have this happen like when you're out to dinner or something with people and they start talking toys, that they just start asking you all kinds of questions, like a doctor when they ask for advice?
Yes.
Yes. We'll have people just walk up to us and just start asking us, I remember this toy, and do you remember the name of it? Or they'll start describing it. What's funny is how people through the years, their memory gets distorted just a little bit sometimes, but they'll think they know the name of it, but the name's and when you show them in the book where the name is, they go, I don't remember it as that. Or I'll get a lady come up and she'll say, I had this doll when I was, and it was this big, and they'll hold up their hands and like about 15, 18 inches. And I'll say, okay, how old were you? And they said like 5. I'll say, okay, then it was like about this big, like 10 inches.
It seemed to be 3 feet tall.
And they'll go, no, it can't be. And I'll point over there, and they'll see it over there on the side, on our wall or whatever, and they go, it shrunk.
You grew.
Yeah, they just grew.
So let's talk about board games, because we were discussing, board games from back in the 60s and 70s, and I remembered Trouble was my favorite board game. Battleship was another one that I loved. They don't make board games like they used to, do they?
No, that's the one big difference is that we were talking earlier about how toys represent history and certainly the economic times. In an era when there were only 3 major networks and maybe 2 local channels, board games were something to do at night if there wasn't anything on TV that you wanted to watch. And so board games throughout the late 50s, through the 60s, and into the 70s and early 80s, they really dominated the market. And every TV show, if it had any modicum of success, had a board game. There were board games for Laverne and Shirley, for Barney Miller had a board game.
Harry Mason.
Kojak. Every TV show had a board game. So even if the TV show wasn't on that night, you could still play the board game.
And Match Game. Yeah. Password.
Yes. There was lots of TV game shows that had board games related to them also.
And so I guess the digital age also kind of put a stop to that, made board games not as important to people.
I remember, probably about 15 years ago when Monopoly, you could play Monopoly on a CD-ROM. And that was all, a lot of people were doing that, playing Monopoly on CD-ROM. And, but now we get people coming in and looking for the original Monopoly all the time.
They want the real thing.
People are starting to go. We're seeing a little change because we're starting to see people, families coming in looking for the original board games because they have game night now, which is really nice to hear.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of going back to their childhood where they want to play games with their kids now, and put away the video games and let's sit down and play a board game. And so it's nice to see. And when they go and buy one at the store and they get it home and they find out it's totally different than what the original one was, they come find us and they go, I want the original one back. And then we go search it and we find it for them. So
what are some of the ones that people come in asking for most popularly?
The aggravation.
Yeah, you said aggravation, which I remember, but I don't remember exactly how the game went.
It was up anywhere for 4 to 6 players. Everyone had 4 or 5 marbles, and they were all different color. And it played a lot like Sorry.
Yes.
You were moving the marbles around the board.
Okay.
You started with a little home thing, and you had to move each marble around the board and try to get it back to its destination.
Your home base.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, JD pulled a picture of it. There we go. Great picture.
Now that's a new one.
That's a new one.
That's a new one. Yeah.
Yes. Shame on you.
But now, but I get it now. And boy, how funny is it though? In this day and age, nobody wants to be aggravated. Aggravation, though, boy. And the other one that you had mentioned to me, and I remembered the name now that I'm looking at it. I think this was a game that my sister went and got, or Santa brought for my sister, who was 6 years older than me, called Mystery Date.
Yeah, the Mystery Date. Yeah.
And this was one, they say this one was released in 1965. But so you got to have a date with somebody? Is that how this worked? I mean, how did it work?
I've
Do you
never
remember?
played it.
Do you remember?
Well, you went around the board, and when you landed on this spot, you got to open this door, and depending on how it was, it would be that you could get a date with the bowler guy, or the guy in the tux, or there was the dud. But it's so funny now, because most of the girls that see it now, they go, the dud's the cutest one of all of them. And it's like how he has a shirt out and everything else, so how times changed. Back then, the bowler always got the woman. We have the commercials on the TV too. Like if you come into our shop, we have a TV that sits back in our showroom, and it plays all the old TV commercials from the 60s.
Oh my gosh!
And you'll see things like the Mystery Date Game, Mr. Machine, all those old time with the songs and everything. But it's funny because they'll go, and they'll see it on the screen, and then look right on the shelf next to them, and there it is, right on the shelf.
Okay, it says the date to be avoided was the poorly dressed dud, who was slovenly attired and had tousled hair and had a beard shadow, which sounds like a really cute guy.
Yeah, that's some of the girls come and say he's the cutest one of all of them now. Yeah. So it's like.
And in the 70s, a picnic date replaced the bowling date.
Oh,
in the
picnic
70s,
guy
the picnic
replaced
guy
the bowler. Yeah,
replaced the bowler.
How times change.
See? Yeah, I don't know. But that's the Mystery Date game. That cracks me up. So one of those very important games that did people come in and ask for, are they looking more for the original than they are, maybe ones that were remade or anything like that is what they look for?
Well, Candyland's a good example. You know, they still make Candyland today. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the original Candyland game, they had the Gumdrop Lollipop Forest and Gumdrop Mountain and all that. Yeah. Everyone remembers those cards. And ice cream floats and stuff. Yes. But now it's totally different. And so they'll buy a game thinking they're going to buy it for their grandchild or their daughter or son, and they get it home and open it up, and they're like, this isn't the one I played.
Okay.
And so then they call us, and we find the original one for them.
So and let's talk a little bit about people say they have items that maybe they would want to sell to you, or how does that work? What should they do?
People can get in touch with us over the phone. We get emails from people, Facebook messages from people that asking, do you buy toys? And of course the answer is we buy the toys. Almost weekly we are buying at least one new thing coming into the store. And so we look at everything by appointment, or else we'd have people overlapping one another and waiting.
Right.
And we look at things, any collections we look at are Tuesday through Friday. And people can just give us a call or contact us anyhow they want to, and we'll set up an appointment for them to bring their stuff in. A lot of times we'll have people send us photos if they're not sure of what it is that they have. That way they're not wasting a trip coming down, and it's something that we're just not going to buy anyway. So.
Mm-hmm. What's nice is a lot of people are unsure about what they have and what it's worth. We We appraise for free. We don't. We'll look at and we'll look it up in the price guides. We'll look it up online. We'll look at and show them, give them all the information, so when they leave, they know they got a fair price for it.
Right, and that's a good point. And I guess, where do you find most of your items? I mean, obviously people bring them to you, but do you go to like trade shows or things like that?
Not really at all.
No.
Almost everything that we get in the store is through collections that people bring to us.
I used to, when I started, I used to go to auctions, flea markets, attic cleanings, yard sales. Anywhere they let, I used to say, anywhere they let me in the front or back door.
Yeah.
But really, in the past years, because of the word getting out and stuff, from word of mouth, we get people in daily, calling us daily or coming in, wanting us to look at their toys and stuff, or selling their toys. And that's nice, because that's the hardest part about what we do.
Yeah.
Is we can't just pick up a phone once we saw that Rock'em Sock'em Robots and order 3 more over the phone.
Right.
We're at the mercy of someone bringing it into us or finding it out there. So I still love going to flea markets and stuff, trying to find that hidden gem. But most of our stuff comes in through our front door.
And I would imagine that there are people out there who are calling you, maybe collectors, and are trying to find out if you have something that's missing in their collection, or do you have that happen as well?
Oh, all the time, yeah. We do get that quite a bit. We just shipped, and we ship all over the world. Someone from Germany bought Star Wars action figures from us. We got in a collection of a mid-'90s action figure line called Street Sharks.
Okay.
And all those went up on our website, and we took a nice picture and did a little video of them on Instagram. And someone in Australia bought 4 of them. A man in Italy bought 2 of them. So it's so it's not just the local area. It's pretty much all over the United States and all around the world.
Another really hot toy that we got in a collection was Jurassic Park toys.
Yes.
And now the movie's coming back, too.
If we have anything left by the time it gets here, because Jamie put a picture out there on Instagram and Facebook, and this just in, and all of a sudden we had one person come in and it's like filled the counter up, and then we had someone else come in and they're like, "Oh, when did you get this stuff in?" And it's amazing how fast that goes out.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park is there's a lot of people looking for Jurassic Park stuff now. So
wow. All right, well, I suppose we'll take our final break here this morning, and we will be back on Spotlight on Stark County. The toys time forgot, and Dan Hare and Jamie Meek are in studio with me this morning.
Are you caring for a relative at home and finding the impact and stress negatively affecting your life? Maybe that person's alone while you work and their safety or well-being is compromised? There are answers that can benefit everyone involved in these situations. Hi, this is Tom Swallen from Windsor Medical Center in North Canton. Our new adult daycare center may be just what the doctor ordered. With flexibility of hours, days, and programming, we are able to remove the burdens of care and establish socialization, activity, dietary, medication, or other routines that benefit the center member and the caregiver. After all, health and wellness is all a part of the proper routine. As a member of the center, you will be able to take advantage of any of the services normally provided by our nursing and assisted living facilities. Therapies, beauty barber services, hygiene, ambulation assistance, and much more are available. Families are free to enjoy a less stressful relationship with our support. So stop at Windsor Medical Center and see what you're missing, or call 330-499-8300 to arrange a tour and discuss how we might benefit your living situation. Windsor Medical Center.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-700-7111. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible, without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-700-7111. That's 1-800-700-7111. 1-800-700-7111.
Shop the Hall for the holidays. One store with all 32 teams under one roof. You'll find the perfect gifts for every football fan. Shop the Hall of Fame exclusives. Shop for the entire family. Men's, women's, and kids' jerseys, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, collectibles, stocking stuffers, and more. The Pro Football Hall of Fame has it all. The Hall of Fame store is open daily, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and the shop is open to the public. Admission to the Hall of Fame is not required. Shop in-store or online at ProFootballHof.com.
Did you know that the best gift you can give this holiday season is for free?
The Stop Heroin from Killing Committee is asking everyone to spend 15 minutes talking to a friend or family member about the dangers of heroin. There's no cost to save a life.
While you're icing cookies, wrapping gifts, or decorating the tree, heroin will destroy some families' holiday. Heroin is heartless and unforgiving. Too many young people are dying.
This holiday season, let's treasure what is most important in our life, our family.
So let's talk. All it takes is 15 minutes to save a life.
That way, we'll make sure all hearts are home for the holidays.
Paid for by the Stop Heroin from Killing Committee.
When the weather turns nasty,
significant storm,
turn to News Talk 1480 WHBC for the Akron Children's Hospital School Closings Report. Pam in Canton's Morning News will let you know whether your school is closed,
school's going to be closed,
delayed,
the big thing is getting the power restored,
or if it's business as usual. Get your school closings from News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Make sure you tune into the radio.
Brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital, where we have one focus: kids.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm looking at, guess who? That was another one of my favorite games. I'm looking at all of these different things on the Toys Time Forgot website that you can purchase if you want to go there. They've got a shopping cart, and it's organized perfectly because you can click on exactly what you're looking for. And if you don't know what you're looking for, it's good because you can scroll through and look at all the different options. So that's awesome. Jamie, you've done a great job with the website. It looks fantastic.
Thanks.
And we'll remind you, the Toys Time Forgot in Canal Fulton, right there in downtown Canal Fulton. You can't miss them. And if you want to go into the store and visit, again, give everyone your hours so they know when they can stop in and pick something up if they'd like to look around.
We're open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 8, and Sunday, 12 to 5.
And I was just scrolling through, decided to click on the 60s, and those hand puppets came back up. And as the more I looked, I do believe I had the Dick Tracy hand puppet. I do believe I had that one. And those were like kind of felt, not felt, but like a cloth and then on your hand and then the head.
Yeah, vinyl head.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I remember it so well.
Look and see if your name's on the back of it.
Yeah. My mom sold everything. She sold the Barbie dolls. Well, she didn't sell the Barbie dolls. She gave my Barbie dolls to my niece when I was away at college. They were hidden under my bed and under lock and key. And so I feel devastated still. But I'm looking at all these different, there's so many items when you walk in the store, it's probably this to the nth degree, isn't it?
Oh, that's about, the website has maybe 1% of what we have in the store.
Oh my gosh.
People come in and it's like, they say, how do you get this much stuff? And we just say it's creative merchandising. But I mean, there's not too many spaces that don't occupy one toy or another.
Now, and we are looking a lot at the board games and things like that, but would you say that the games are the things that people look for the most, or is it the action, Star Wars figures?
It really depends on the collector. It's everyone has their own favorite toy they remember, or their just own line of toys that they enjoy collecting. So it depends on who's doing the buying.
And you got to remember, there's the Fonz lunchbox, the Evel Knievel lunchbox. I remember that. I remember seeing these growing up. Wow. So, and lunchboxes are a whole, there's a lot. You guys deal with a lot of different stuff. You have comic books and things like that too, right?
Yes. Quite an extensive collection of comic books going, back to the Golden Age up through modern comic books that just came out last week. So.
Oh, wow. And don't you do something in the springtime with the comic books, too?
That's, the first Saturday in May every year is Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll be back again to talk about this year.
Good, very good. Glad to hear it, because I know people enjoy that, too. So if people are looking for something, again, what do you suggest that they do? If they have something in mind, or is it best to just visit the store and come on in? Or?
Yes, yeah. And someone is always there to talk to them about what it is they're looking for. Half the time we're going to have it there anyway, so...
Or they're more than welcome to email us or from the website or drop us a line, because on Facebook we get lots of people asking, do you have this? And we always answer questions on Facebook. We answer them. We're pretty quick return on answering questions on Facebook. We try. We get a lot of people asking questions.
Right, I'm sure.
We get back pretty fast. But yeah, it's you'll be amazed what's in there. But we do have a search where you can ask for something, and we put your name in a list, and if it comes in, then your name comes up, and we'll call you. So we're always searching for stuff. Christmas is a big time for us for that, too.
All right, so give your phone number. We didn't do that. Let's have a phone number for everyone if they want to give you a call.
It's 330-854-1700.
TheToysTimeForgot.com is the website. That's the same thing for the Facebook page. And give the Instagram address real quick one more time, too.
Toys Time Forgot with the number 4 instead of the word 4.
All right, very good. Lots of ways to find them. But visit them in Canal Fulton. You guys have a wonderful holiday. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you, too. Happy holidays.
This and the latest is WHBC. For breaking news, weather, and traffic information, it's News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Recapture your childhood memories at the Toys Time Forgot, celebrating more than 25 years of bringing vintage toys to collectors.